मेरा नाम शॉन है.
डिजिट को सब्सक्राइब कर लो.
डिजिट सब्सक्राइबर.
डिजिट को सब्सक्राइब कर लो.
डिजिट to subscribe.
कर लो. Hi Sean, how are you?
Hi Manas. Yeah, good. Thank you.
How are you? I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
I think Bangalore's weather has been very kind to me.
Yeah, it's not rainy, at least for today.
How's been life in India?
I don't have complaints. I mean, I've been enjoying living in India because India is a big country. You have a lot of choices, especially in terms of travel. And also you can, you have to travel a bit for business. You have to go to Delhi sometime. You have to go to Mumbai. But always it gives me a lot of like different interaction, different vibes from people in different places. So I really enjoy living in India.
Now you come from Korea, south of Korea.
Yeah.
And it's been close to 4 years since you've been in India running this business, trying to promote esports in the country.
Yeah.
We'll get to that part soon. But culturally, how different has it been for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously very different. While I think we share some sort of basic cultural elements as Asian countries, which has strong focus on family values, and also there are conservative part of our life which are pretty much similar to one another. But I feel that India is a very big and diverse country, while Korea is relatively homogeneous society. So we don't really see too many foreigners except big cities, and we look pretty much like similar, like some fairer skin with the black hair. But in India, you see different type of skin colors and different type of especially different religions, different languages. So that's very different. Yeah.
I think diversity is of course one of our biggest strengths. If you have to pick one thing which is completely different between Korea and India, or some difference that you noticed soon after you moved here?
Definitely it's food. I mean, I used to really like Indian food. I mean, used to, it sounds, I don't like, but I still like Indian food. But I really loved Indian food back in Korea. So like Indian gravy was one of my favorite choices whenever I choose having dinner outside home. But now I'm in India. I have almost like every day, maybe at least 2 meals a day, I'm having Indian food.
And like any favorite dish that you would have?
Well, I generally like South Indian food these days. Like I like the rice-based, like appam, idli, dosa type of things. It's light, but it's still, I feel healthy relatively. And then butter chicken, lamb, lamb kebab. Yeah, I like those.
Any Indian sweets that you have tried?
Sweets, I would say, I mean, I tried. I generally like them, but it's too sweet. Maybe at my age, it's not really recommended to have too much.
You need to come to Delhi, then I'll take you for the best butter chicken in India and also some of the best sweets that you can possibly have from different parts of the world, but all of them in Delhi.
Oh, nice.
So maybe that's something we need to do.
Yeah. Look forward to it.
Yeah. So, Sean, now coming to gaming, of course. Are you a gamer as well?
Yeah, of course. I think that's the main reason why I chose to build my career in gaming side. Yeah. I started playing games maybe from 809, if I really remember correctly. There was the time that my kindergarten had a computer lab. Back then it was, I believe, Apple compatible computer. So that was my first opportunity to play games. So I think then it must be 7 rather than 8. So yeah, I'm a gamer.
And are you like also a sports fanatic? Do you also play a lot of sports, or is it just the gaming that you're?
Well, to be honest, I was a little nerdy kid rather than sporty kid. So I like to play baseball, and I used to play a bit of basketball and football, but I was more a gamer, maybe rather than sport players.
Now, I ask this is because even before we get into a deeper conversation around all these things, one thing which I wanted to address right at the top, because you're also a parent, right? Now, there's a lot of debate around mobile gaming and real world sports and how kids are not, giving enough time in outdoor activities and sports. As a parent, how do you balance between actual gaming and real world sports?
Yeah, I think obviously raising kids in a balanced way is very difficult task for parents. But what I'm trying to do at home, I'm not saying that I'm the best example for that, but I'm just trying my best by giving my kids a gaming play hours as a sort of reward for them to complete certain daily tasks in their life as a kid, as a student, or as an individual. So what I'm trying to do is we try to set certain limits in terms of game playing hours, mostly on holidays or weekends. During weekdays, I generally I try not to allow them to play games except special case like birthday or whatever, or sleepover with friends. And then they actually sort of get used to it. So at least in my home, it's kind of peaceable. Like they don't really push for more gaming hours. So that's how I'm.
And I think a lot of people don't probably realize that this is how it has always been the case. Now we're talking about mobile gaming, but earlier you would have all those video games.
Yes.
Like when I was a kid, when I got my first video game, it was those 64-bit gaming players, and my parents also had put similar limits where I was allowed to play it for half an hour every Sunday. So I would just wait for that Sunday to come where I can do my gaming, Super Contra and all those games that I could play, and I would really look forward to it as well. So you also add value to that experience.
You have to have a scarcity to feel the value. Huh?
Yes, exactly. But Sean, where do you see India's mobile gaming scene is right now?
I feel that we are now either passing through reflection point, or we are just in front of reflection point. While we are seeing like 15% or 20% annual growth in terms of the market size in gaming market in India, but the base itself, it's still relatively small compared to the size of economy, which is now maybe third largest in terms of GDP. But gaming market, I believe India is not within top 10 for sure. I think it's somewhere between top 10 to top 15, I believe. But I think because gaming is actually one of the most attractive and most fulfilling entertainment, digital entertainment form, which actually progress or develop into much better form every year. So I believe Indian people will find the gaming is one of the best way to enjoy or spend their time, which I feel that it's still limited to a certain, relatively small number of people, among the whole population. So I think people will see the change. Yeah.
But what is the current valuation? How big is the industry?
I think one of the most accurate. I wouldn't say it's very accurate. I mean, the market sizing is also one of the best. I mean, one of the difficult tasks when the market is still in the nascent stage. But I think Lumika report, which I have seen maybe February this year, it estimate India gaming market as 3.7 or 8 billion.
Wow.
But large part of it is RMG, which we are not, we don't belong to. So maybe except RMG, it's around 1.567 billion.
This is specifically mobile gaming industry. We're not talking about consoles and other
but
games.
In India, console and PC gaming market is relatively small, maybe 10%, 15% max.
I think since the mobile gaming has taken over, it's also like affected the other side of the gaming part as well. Now, you also mentioned that how India is not among the top 10 gaming industries right now. It is between top 10 and top 15 markets. So what are the opportunities there? How do you get into top 10?
I believe that India should have more sizable local publishers. I believe that India has shown the potential by having games like BGMI, which are widely enjoyed by sizable users. But I think there are few more genres which can be unlocked by Indian gamers, which we still yet to see. So, for example, I think the shooter games are quite popular in India, and also board games like Ludo is also quite popular in India. But I think there are some little bit of missing genres like RPG and maybe strategy games. Those, compared to the size of the user base, I think it's relatively less discovered by Indian users. I think though if Indian users find those genres are attractive to them, then I think the market will steadily grow.
And how are you trying to promote that? And when I say you, I obviously mean Krafton. How is Krafton trying to bring more of these opportunities, support the gamers and even the developers and publishers that you spoke about?
Yeah. So definitely we, obviously BGMI is our biggest product, obviously. But we have launched it now 4 more titles since 2023, I believe. So although the size of the users or revenue are there's a big gap compared to BGMI, but we found that Indian users are actually waiting for those new contents. So we will continue to launch new games so that we can find the best fit for the market.
Let's talk about BGMI for a second now. I mean, obviously you brought it up and it deserves a section of its own. We all know how big PUBG was. Then obviously BGMI, you introduced BGMI to India. What do you think that has worked for this game? Because we have had similar games who operate in the similar territory, yet nobody has been able to reach the heights of, let's say, a BGMI.
True.
So what is it that it has worked for it?
Yeah, I think it's a very typical case that shows the power of original IP. I believe that there were few battle royale games. Talking about the PC first, I think mobile version of this battle royale games has been introduced in 2018.
Yeah.
But I think earlier from 2015 or 16, there were few games like DayZ and Arma's, the Battle Royale mode in 2015 or 16. So that was the beginning of Battle Royale game as a separate sub-genres of shooter game. But Krafton introduced PUBG PC version in early 2017. That actually got huge followers, huge user base, which actually give a sort of show the path for this battle royale game to become a mainstream genre. So I think that is sort of that is a big shift, big change moment, and also that core gameplay has been well transferred to the mobile platform. So that is actually how PUBG and BGMI become so popular in the market, which actually people still feels that this is the original IP. While there are few other games which compete with us or which used to compete, now maybe they have been sort of out of the market. But I think the strength or the power of original IPs actually resonate with people in a big way. So we are seeing games like Call of Duty or Battlefield, which has been in the market for like 10, 15, 20 years, but still people enjoying playing the games.
Since you have obviously introduced BGMI, I'm sure you must have also learned a lot about how gamers are perceiving it and made certain cultural changes to it. Can you take me through those as well? I
think because there are some, especially on PC and console side, games are generally bought. People buy games as a copy, like they enjoy maybe 10 hours, 20 hours, and then they shift to new games. But I think games like BGMI, which is strongly focused on live service, we continue to provide new contents. Like every 2 months, we provide new content, new maps, and new weapons and new skins. So which actually engage with the people in a sustainable way, so that people don't get bored. I mean, some people get bored and churn out, but most of users, they stay with the game. And then there are new users coming in all the time. So I think that's how we manage things with the BGMI.
Now you've also done a bunch of tournaments which are helping take the game to a larger audience. Like you just had BGIS, which happened in Calcutta, and you are now hosting BMPS. These are huge prize pool as well to attract the gamers. So how do you think that these initiatives, these tournaments are contributing to India's overall gaming ecosystem?
Yeah, we are now talking about esports. Yeah. So esports is a very unique form of entertainment. Generally, we believe that gaming is supposed to be more of personal experience, but esports actually bring that personal experience into more like a social experience. So I think it gives people, the gamers, to have opportunity to enjoy gaming as a social experience, which actually enables the game specific game titles to be popular repetitively in the different physical spaces. So I think that experience has motivated publishers to invest more into esports. And also it actually gave a lot of job opportunities and also a lot of entertainment opportunities for audience and also esports athletes. So that's how we, as a Korean company, we can relate it to the beginning of esports back in late 90s. There was a StarCraft, which was hugely popular in South Korea. So we seen the birth of esports. I think that experience still resonates with me. I was college students and high school students back then. So we wanted to create that kind of experience for young Indian gamers with the BGMI. So we kept investing in esports ecosystem for the last 4 years, and now we are seeing it's pretty sizable ecosystem, and we are seeing a lot of new young athletes coming into the ecosystem, and also obviously gamers are enjoying competition between old but well-established figures like Moto, Jonathan competing with the younger players.
It's interesting how you mention athletes. You don't call them just gamers because in India, a lot of gamers gaming is still seen as a casual activity. A lot of people don't take it very seriously, right? Now you spoke about opportunities. Let me be very direct. Like, how much can a professional gamer make in India right now?
In India, I think, so there is a bit of not really unique, I would say. Like, we just talked about before start, we talked about Sean Hyunil, the football players. I think, of course, the salary he is getting from the club is huge.
Yeah.
But I believe that other income source for him would be also equally sizable, like sports the ads,
all brand partnership opportunities.
Brand ambassador for sports brands, and also he do a lot of commercials in Korea. So I believe esports athletes also similar. Like they can get, if they are the top player, they can get good amount of prize money. But if he or she is good at streaming, and if he continue to do it, I think he can also get good revenue from streaming. And also there are few players and few teams which is active in doing brand ambassador role for smartphone OEMs or other brands.
Yes.
So I think that combines, I would say, maybe top 5 esports athletes can make at least, I don't know, like $500,000 to $1 million at least.
Wow.
US dollars.
So that's.
But I haven't asked them directly, so I cannot give wrong impression. But that's my guess.
So also, let's say if somebody is starting out. Now these are the top players, of course, that you're talking about. Let's say somebody is starting out, they are just beginning their gaming or esports journey. And for 1 year, if let's say they be consistent, they put out enough content, they do participate in some of these championships. Where do you think how much can they make after a year?
Well, I think there is some uncertainty, or because
let's assume that they also click, they figure this out, and then
like we have to see like how. So let's say that these players are professional enough at least to be on final events of Krafton's like BGMI's official events, and then they also do some streaming on a continuous basis, and they also get some support from their teams and etc. Maybe I would say they can make slightly more than college graduates salary. So that's my guess.
So basically, let me rephrase it for you. Let's say a professional gamer, if they're actually good at it, even if they're starting out, they can probably make better money than, let's say, an engineer who's just freshly come out of a college.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Maybe not IIT graduate, but
no, because we obviously keep reading all these reports and we keep coming across all those numbers. So it's also very important to talk about it, because unless we talk about these numbers, people will never take these things seriously. And it's not just the gamers, it's also their families, because they're obviously concerned about their future. So once they have that sort of surety that yes, this sort of money is there, then that's when they start taking these things a little more seriously, is what I feel.
True.
What are the challenges though? Now, obviously, you've come this far, BGMI is this big, you've done a lot of other partnerships we'll talk about later. But what are the challenges in taking esports and mobile gaming to larger India?
Yeah, I think things are definitely improving and growing, but I think there are still, as I said earlier, like we still yet to clearly see the reflection point. I think there is a bit of gap between generations. So young people see gaming as a proper mainstream entertainment, and also for esports, I think young people see it as a professional job opportunities. But then slightly older generation, mature generations, they, especially in India, I think they haven't been through that period. So they see gaming as a more like, it's similar to when TV first came into the entertainment, came into home in the US in maybe early 20th century, which people saw that TV is a intrusive entertainment and maybe spoil the, atmosphere at home. I think it has similar situation in India. It used to happen in Korea maybe 90s. Like my parent generation, they didn't play games that much when they were child. My generation enjoy gaming from, let's say, kindergarten, and etc., etc. So that generation gap still exists in India. So when I interact with industry folks and also government bureaucrats, they see gaming as a maybe less mainstream. They want to rather control it rather than support it. I think that still exists, I guess. Yeah.
And like, do you think that some inroads have been made in that direction?
Yeah. I think maybe the progress is not as fast as we want it to be, but I think people now slowly understand that how much gaming can create in terms of economic values, in terms of job opportunities, in terms of the value which is not financial or monetary, but which can actually bring lots of opportunities for young people to feel motivated about tech, engineering, and etc., etc. Like NVIDIA has started as a company, producing graphic cards, which is only for gaming back then. So I think that sort of things, I think people now slowly start understanding.
And look at them now.
So, yeah, of course.
I was in Taiwan last year and I saw the craze. Jensen was there for Computex and I saw the craze. Look at how that company is doing right now.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You never know. Cookie Run is, of course, a new addition to your portfolio. An interesting choice because BGMI, Cookie Run, completely two different genres. So what inspired that?
Yeah, obviously we wanted to find not one answer, but few maybe possible answers to some missing piece of Indian gaming market. So we thought that because Cookie Run, the IP, has been there for almost, I think, 15 years in Korea. So it's hugely popular in Korea when mobile gaming was beginning to emerge. So I think maybe in India we can bring that like casual gameplay which can resonate with the mass audience. And then also the developer back in Korea, they were also very excited about the opportunity which they can see from Indian gaming market. So developer really want to do something in India. We also trying to find the best casual game for the market. So that's how it started.
See, India is good at so many things, right? Especially when it comes to technology, we are one of the biggest service providers. But one thing which has always bothered me as a technology enthusiast is that why is never a really high quality, top quality AAA game being developed out of India?
Yeah, but I think we have seen potential, or we have seen some good results from Indian gaming industry already. There are companies like Gameberry, PlaySimple. Those companies has made good amount of revenues. They continue to grow. Although, as you said, like if we define AAA games as something as complex as Black Myth Wukong or GTA, then India has not produced such AAA quality games yet. But I think it's mostly matters with the scale. India gaming industry is still nascent stage, so that you cannot really create that scale of investments into one project, which would hinder the such AAA quality of games to be made in India. But I think it will slowly change. I can see some studios already have good amount of investments, headcounts, and good quality of engineers and game developers into one single project, which is very ambitious, I would say. But if it wouldn't succeed at one single shot, but I think if it accumulate, I think eventually we will see some.
Explain it to me. Let's say I want to make India's own GTA,
Okay.
but for mobile. How much money would I need?
10 million, at least 10 million US dollars.
And this is just for the development part. Then there'll be additional cost to take the games,
Of
have
course,
the right
of course.
partnerships.
UA marketing will cost a lot.
End to end, what sort of money are we looking at?
I think at least, generally you don't really raise that. If you are independent studio, you have to raise the capital,
Yes.
either from publisher or either from investor. I think back to back, you would need at least 20 to 30 million to develop the game, maybe do some soft launch, test, fix your game, and do another testing, and maybe ready for full launch. Then you will cost 20 to 30 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the challenges that I'm sure that a lot of developers must also be facing. That's why we also see a lot of Ludo, all these purchasey, these sort of games come out of India, but not really like a...
Yeah, that could be also the case. I think it also requires certain gradual development of experiences as a community, as an ecosystem.
Yeah.
So I think India, for example, like China is now hugely, it's a very huge gaming market, and also it's a very successful game making country. We just mentioned about the Black Myth Wukong, but there are games like Genshin Impact, and there are also some other games which cannot be made other than China. So I think China has gone through this stage of developments, I would say from late 90s, early 2000. South Korean gaming companies were they made a lot of money from Chinese market starting from 90s. I think the competition became quite fierce with the Chinese game developers, maybe starting from late 2000, 2008, 9, 10. And then now I believe Korean games are still very popular in China, but I think in terms of market share, maybe earlier it was 70-80% Korean games and maybe 20-30% were local games. But now it's totally sort of reversed. So Korean games are still popular. The market has grown maybe 10x or 20x during these 20 years. But I think the market share has been reversed, and then now local games are dominant in Chinese market. So I think that sort of time, length of time is required for India gaming industry to emerge into maybe top 3 or top 5 country in terms of game development. Maybe because technology evolved that fast, so maybe it won't require 20 years, but it might still need several years.
Can you give me a number, how many years before India becomes
But it's a combination of time and also efforts. I would say if governments provide certain support, if industry players make some strong efforts, and also there is also a bit of technology shift required, because now on PC and console there are existing dominant players. In mobile, like Chinese game developers are best. Then maybe there should be some technology shift like AI or VR. Then you should grab the opportunity as a new player. So if it all combined, I think maybe we will see some big improvement in 6 years, in 6 to 7 years. Yeah.
Let's hope we are here 5 years later and then discussing how all of this has happened. So,
yeah, I hope. I look forward to it.
So in terms of game development within India, you obviously have, one of the steps that you guys have taken is acquiring Nautilus mobile. Take me through that. How does that align with what you are trying to do?
When we first started looking at India as a gaming country, gaming market, it started, I can say that from 2019 for Krafton. We tried to identify good developers in which we can invest in, and also we can collaborate either through code development or publishing. Nautilus was the one of a company that we found attractive. First, it's cricket game developer. Cricket is definitely, India is the top best country in terms of fan base, in terms of the commercial opportunity.
It is again very surprising that for a country that is so obsessed with a game like cricket, a sport like cricket, we have not had a good, solid cricket game out of India.
Yeah. True. But I think we believe that we can fill the gap as a global gaming company. There were few good cricket game developers in India, Globally, there are also 2-3 good cricket game developers, not necessarily on mobile, but so globally, cricket games are not the main sports game genre, as you are aware. So, and then we start talking to the studio and the parent company. Back then, Jet Synthesis. So it feels that like we share common sort of game development culture. For game developers, business is one side, but you have to be passionate about your own game or your own IP, so that we share that passion. We believe that maybe commercial terms might be favorable to either side, one of the either side, but we felt that we can work together for the long term. So that's why we decided to invest in Nautilus early 2022. And we found conversation, collaboration with studio was as good as we expected. Although, as you just briefly mentioned, that we were not very happy about the growth of the market, cricket game market. And then also we feel that we can do more if we acquire the company in terms of technology support and et cetera, et cetera. So that's how we also trigger to the acquisition of the studio. And then we will see. It's been only a couple of months since acquisition. So
slightly deviating from the topic here, just from a gaming enthusiast to another gaming enthusiast. We had Cricket 07. EA made it in 2007. Then we had this couple of games that Big Ant Studios has made, right? I've always been curious, why couldn't EA do with cricket what it did with FIFA? Let's say now FC, which is the game. Why do you think so?
I feel that there is a lack of investment, or there is a shortage of investments into cricket games. So Koreans love baseball. So we have quite few baseball games, which makes quite sizable revenue for the last 10-15 years. And before mobile games started, there were also few PC games, online PC games, which used to make good amount of revenue. So I think cricket games, obviously cricket has smaller fan base outside India compared to other games like football, baseball, basketball, American football, and etc. I think that contributes to the shortage of investment into cricket game developments. But I believe that if you spend if you put enough investment into it, and obviously India economy is growing, I think there will be more or bigger monetization opportunity around cricket gaming. Then I think I believe that we can create this cycle, like better game, more monetization, and more investments, even more better games, and we want to create this cycle.
I think even today's generation needs to be reintroduced to Cricket 07 for such a cult following that it even has. And somebody needs to maybe recreate something like that. So
I agree.
There's a food for thought there. Yeah. Now we are almost in the middle of 2025. You obviously just hosted one great tournament. There's another one coming. What are the other plans? Where will we see investments from Krafton in India into this year?
Well, it's a little tough question, because I feel that we have, in terms of direct investments, we started investment in India from Nodwin Gaming. So that was February 2021. Since then, it's been 4 years. We invest in Nautilus. We acquire them. We invest in other companies like Kuku FM, Pratilipi, Friend, and we recently invest in Cashfree, which is payment gateway company. So I believe that we have made bets on the growth of digital entertainment or digital contents platforms in India, which we have seen huge growth. Like the revenue, some of our portfolio companies has seen the revenue growth of 10x, 50x over these 3-4 years. But now I feel that because of AI, it makes much less expensive to create the contents for this kind of platform. So I think we are now benefiting from the introduction of AI technology into this industry, but still yet to figure out what will be the next. So these trends we have seen in Korea, China, or US. So we are just sort of learning from that experience, and then we are trying to find some Indian scenario or Indian growth path in alongside this kind of industry development. But I think now we yet to see the kind of model case from this developed country, which can be applied to India. So it's more like mystery, future. So we are also trying to figure out on the like deep tech side and also the payment side, because we believe that monetization will be huge in the future as economies grows. We also want to tap into that specific industry, but we don't really have a good idea what to come. So we are just trying to figure out now.
But I'm sure you have an idea about what has happened. So I just want to know that what is that one thing about Krafton's journey in India so far that you think a lot of people might not actually know?
I mean, obviously the emerging players in these digital content platforms are one big trends we are now witnessing. I think it's still yet to be seen at the very high level. So those companies, their revenue is not like more than, let's say, 50 million or 100 million. So compared to big corporates like Reliance or like Tata, it's not very visible. But I think it will grow in the next 5 to 10 years. So it will become a proper sort of, they can go IPO and they will also enter into different industries. So that's something that I found very fulfilling. Very, very proud of it, but which people still yet to see. I mean, generally like it doesn't look very glamorous as like Bollywood.
On a personal level, any experience that made you rethink, reshaped your perspective about how things are?
Well, I feel that one of interesting thing I have found in since we start investment, since we start operating BGMI, is that we feel there is a good amount of difference between different regions in India. So certain regions are very fond of certain contents or certain aspects of BGMI, while other regions doesn't find it as fun as the other reason that I mentioned. So I think that dynamics is quite challenging for a company like us. I mean, we are from Korea, so we don't have that understanding earlier, but now we have more understanding on this regional difference. And then I believe that once we get to know better about this, I think we will be better positioned to other competitors. And also, I think you can do a lot of different but better user engagement by understanding the regional differences and regional preferences. So we did some very localized marketing starting from 2024, which has shown good results. So that's something I found amusing and interesting. Yeah.
I'm sure. Thank you so much, Sean, for your time. You were very kind with your time and your answers. I hope to see you in Delhi next when we can go on our little sweet ride or walk where we can enjoy different flavors of Delhi.
And also butter chicken. Yeah.
Butter chicken, absolutely. Because I think Bangalore's food is slightly corporatized, is how I'd say. Delhi is still raw. You'll still get the actual flavors of India in north of India. So
really look forward.
We look forward to host you there. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Manas.
Thank you.